Well, I'll see how this goes. Am I live yet? What's up, Ashley and Landon? How are you? We're gonna let a few people get on here before I start talking. What's up, Ashley and Landon? How are you? Let's turn this volume down so I don't have a nice echo for you guys. What's up, everybody? What's up? Been a minute. Been a minute. Any good music today? Maybe. Hey, a little bit. Who knows? We'll find out. It's only 8 p.m., Ashley. Why are you going to bed already? Let's see a few people get on here before we cover what I want to cover tonight. How is everybody doing tonight? Post up in the comments if you have been out fishing. Let me hear how you guys been doing if you've been out. Or if you're in the process of rigging a boat. Let's hear what everybody's been up to. I've been up to a whole bunch of work. Today I was supposed to be on the road working today, but that kind of fell through. So I got working on the truck. Saw the community tab here on the channel or on Instagram. I ripped part of my truck build out of the back of the truck, and we need to redo it. Need to make it a little bit better functionality-wise back there. So that's my new project. Plus, get the boat ready to go the rest of the way. Even though the boat itself is ready, the tackle is not ready yet. Got some rods and reels need to be restrung up, all that fun stuff. So, has anybody been out fishing? Let me know. Kind of will be got a couple announcements. And I figure I'd give everybody a quick little what to look forward to here in the month of April as we get into it, fishing-wise. We have a lot going on right now, and the internet has not been telling too much of it. So there is some good stuff to be had right now out there. So, first housekeeping thing I want to kind of cover, guys. Sorry I have not posted a video in a while. There's shorts going up constantly on the channel from newer videos and old videos. So I'm at least getting you guys some kind of content to watch. It helps even if you just watch those shorts for 20, 30 seconds. Give it a thumbs up. Even if you hate it, that helps me out, guys. Some of it's bad content, I know. But just trying to put stuff out there, see what sticks. I'm testing a few posting times with the shorts as well right now. I'm just trying to feel out some new stuff for the future. On the... What is the date? I gotta find the date here for you guys. On April 6th and 7th, I will be at Lakeside Fishing Shop in St. Clair Shores. For sure on the 6th, 7th, depends how I feel. What I got going on the next week. April's a busy month for me. And the house here, doctor's visits, all this fun stuff. But I'll be there for Julie's open house. I believe she's going to be giving guys hot dogs and snacks and stuff like that. It's going to be a whole bunch of deals and specials. I'm going to be there talking English choice, bass fishing, Great Lakes finesse. She'll be getting the juvie tubes in here any day. I placed that order for her end of last week. So she's going to reload on bandits. I got to get over to Wallaceburg and pick up some plastics for her for the English choice section that she's out of. Keep forgetting to do that, and I got to find time to do that. Let's see what else is going on down there. I'll have some of the Gamakatsu boxes down there as well. I can show you guys how I've organized them for the walleye jigs, and then I will probably do a video on the 3200 size. I'm going to start using those for my underspin heads, my tungsten head for Swimbait heads, and my Ned heads, and possibly some other jig heads, like my tube jigs and stuff. I'm getting a little tired of them kind of being a mass, bouncing around, getting all beat up in the box, so I'm going to probably change that up as well. So expect a video kind of going through how I'm organizing my tackle this year. I go through and I try something new every year and see what sticks, see what I like, and we'll see what I don't like. And I've gone through a lot of iterations of soft plastic storage, and I'm actually going back to hard boxes or like the shoe box style boxes. I'm going back to those. It's one of those things, I just not liking the bags. I got a bunch of bags for Monster Bass. Granted, a lot of those are prototypes, and the material just does not hold up long term on those. I did get a bag from All Terrain Tackle as part of my samples for my rep job, and I do like that bag. So I'm going to probably use that one once I'm done showing the samples to my customers throughout the state. You're probably seeing a lot of All Terrain jigs show up in a few shops across the state. They're a pretty good company. They're a Midwest company, so they do make stuff for our markets per se. But yeah, Lakeside, next Saturday and Sunday, I will be down there talking. Come out, hang out with me, guys. I am essentially out of stickers. I do have like 3 or 4 of the big ones left. They're like 6-8 inches long. Once those are gone, they're gone. I'll have them with me. I got to run some more, and then I'll always have them in the truck with me, and I'll try to keep a handful in the boat as well. So if you see me out fishing and you want a sticker, just holler at me. If I have one on me, I will definitely get you one. I have been pricing out hats. I don't know. Yeah, I do got it down here. Let's see this really quick. So a couple years back, I ran this hat, and a lot of people are saying, hey, can you make those? Can you get those out for us? And I like the hat. I just don't like the price through the company I had this done with. And quite honestly, I'd like to have a different colored license plate. This is supposed to mimic a license plate here. So I'm going to probably do something a little different on hats. If I do some hats in the near future, I'm going to need some commitments from some of you guys to basically know I can afford to do them. Hats are incredibly expensive, and I don't want a cheap cap. I want a nice cap and make it look cool. On the community tab not too long ago, I posted up a picture from an artist. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. I can show you it really quick. You think I would have this all set up, but I definitely do not. Let's pull this up here. All right. Make that a separate tab. Present. Nope, don't want that. Share screen. Window. There we go. All right. Add the stage. All right. So this guy here, Cold Water Design, I came across him on Instagram. Does some really cool stuff. He's fairly local here. Been talking with him a little bit on potentially doing some stuff. He actually was doing a draw your dog thing, and that's actually Finney on the deck of the boat here. And he just threw a random bass boat. And I like the way he did it. He actually did a pretty good job of mimicking Finney in the way he looks. So there's a good chance I might have him do some stickers or some artwork for t-shirts or hoodies. So down the road, I might do a hoodie series featuring Finney, and I might even do one or two with Cooper. If you guys have been on the channel a long time, you do know who Cooper is. He passed away about 2 years ago. Unfortunately, he had cancer. That was a rough deal. I wanted to be home for when he passed, and I was in North Carolina 2 falls ago when it happened, and just could not get home in time. Luckily, my dad was here with him. He loved my dad, so he did not pass away alone. Somebody was here with him when it happened, which sucks because me and the wife both wanted to be home, and life got in the way, and we didn't expect him to pass that night. Honestly, it wasn't the first time he's had those issues, and all the other times he kind of worked past him and he was good. So I thought I had a few more weeks with my buddy, but it did not work out. So hopefully in the near future, I might be doing some stuff with Cold Water Design, some logo type work. I might have him update my logo a little bit, or just come up with some cool ideas for merch for you guys. So hopefully that does something. And also, I am looking for someone local, or maybe not too terribly far away, that may be a cabinet maker or woodworker of some sort. I'm not terrible at woodworking, but I could definitely use a little bit of help with this project. I want to essentially rebuild this whole side. I just ripped it all out today. I'm just letting everything kind of dry out and clean out there. I want to design a way to have a desk that slides out so I can sit on the mattress here and actually work at a computer, but also tuck it away. Just some basic storage. I still need to have access to the sliding window here for my AC. And I want to get this AC in here nice and tight and as level as possible, and then run the condensation line out through the wheel well so it can drip outside the vehicle, so I don't have to leave this tub in here to collect it. Because where this tub is, I would like to be installing a diesel heater in here sometime this year so I can have some cold weather protection, some warmth. So hopefully I can get that done here in the next couple weeks. That's one of my main projects, because I will be on the road here shortly quite a bit. The campgrounds are going to start opening up. It's going to be a little bit warmer, a little bit nicer to sleep in the back of the truck without the heater. And, I'll have more showers available here probably about mid-April in the state, and get back to that work grind. We'll definitely do a whole bunch of fireside chats with people. When I'm at campgrounds that have good, strong internet connection, I'll put the phone or the iPad on a tripod, and we'll sit next to the fire and chat and have a drink or two and chit chat and let you guys know what's going on in the world, being a rep. Fishing wise, guys, I've actually been a little disappointed, and a lot of the guys online are just not sharing what's going on out there. There has been a fairly solid bite of walleye in the lake, the lower lake, Delphine Channel and down, pulling cranks. That still goes. It's at a couple off days, a couple good days. They are getting some smallmouth down on mile roads. Right out in front of Blossom Heath, there's that the big reef complex. It's got boulder field net on it. There's buoys marked out on there. They've been getting some fish there. There's been a few fish caught up by what I call the turtle, which is that white tent at the Memorial Park in St. Clair Shores there. I call that the turtle because the lakeside looks like a turtle shell a little bit. There's been some fish caught in those areas too and all through there. Water clarity is probably about 3 feet or so, give or take. It's got a little green to it, which is actually really good. Means those fish aren't super skittish when we get on top of them. So you guys with live and 360, you'll be able to get a little closer to those fish. Makes those systems work a little bit better. Unless you got a Garmin with that saltwater live transducer, which is totally cheating. You can see 80 feet out in front of you and see your lure and everything. That's some big money, though, from what I understand for that guy. If you're looking for walleye jigging, Detroit River has been hit or miss. There's been some really good catches, but most guys are getting a handful of fish for a boat of 2 to 4 people. Everybody's getting a couple fish right now. Not a ton of big sows coming out yet, but they are picking up a few. St. Clair River, the jigging has been a little not been the greatest. I am hearing reports of salmon throughout the river system, North Channel all the way up to Marine City, Marysville. I'm hearing the catches, coho, and Atlantics. All I'm going to tell you guys for the Atlantics, experiment. And don't be afraid to fish small stuff for those big fish. All I'm going to hint at. I was privy to some secret information I'm not going to share beyond that. Ryan, you didn't exactly miss the fishing report for smallies. The mile roads are starting to pick up. Blade baits have been probably some of the more primary. Dragging smaller swim baits will work this time of the year. There's some stuff from Great Lakes Finesse. Let me go grab it. Let me go grab this stuff. Brand new tackle. This stuff from Great Lakes Finesse has been selling like crazy in a handful of stores that have got it early here in the state. Lakeside has a very large selection and has the new stuff coming in. Should be there in the next few business days. Hopefully tomorrow, honestly, but we'll have to wait and see. So first up, I'm going to show you what's my favorite colors here. Let's do green pumpkin watermelon. Turn this light on, get a little brighter here for you guys. So if you guys aren't familiar with Great Lakes Finesse, it is literally a soft plastic company started in Canada. It's built for pressured fish. And Lake St. Clair is the definition of pressured smallmouth. You got the mini tube heads. Sweet, sweet. So this is a pretty cool tube. Whoop. So it doesn't look like much. Let me get this salt off of here. Doesn't look like much, but it's actually most of the colors are going to float. So these pinchers are going to come up. And they have a set of jig heads. What size is this one? It's a half ounce. Let's do the 3/8. It's got a set of jig heads that is strictly designed for their tubes. And what you're going to notice is that they are designed to perfectly match up and sit. So all you got to do is literally just slide in like any other tube. But their pockets are set up in here that is absolutely perfect. You split the antennae with the jig. And you just pop it out right between the, there's 2 ribs here on the backside. So you want to pop that eye right at that point. You don't want to go on the other side, up here. You want to be right between these two for it to sit absolutely perfectly. So this is going to be a very small, compact crawfish imitation. And I'll tell you what, sizing-wise, a lot of our deep water crawfish are what is called a calico crawfish, and they run in that 2 to 3 inch range most of the time. So this is going to mimic it really, really well. And with half ounce, 3/8 ounce weights, you'll be able to fish this out deeper in the summer in a nice compact package. So I'm excited about those. So those would be good to fish. Let me get this all unrigged here. So that's new from those guys. There's also another bait that's brand new. So that's the Juicy Tube, or the Juice Tube, or Juvie Tube, or what do they call it. And then there is the Juicy Hellgrammite. Now, I'm a little torn on this one. I'm not usually a Hellgrammite fan, but I will say the sizing of this Hellgrammite is a heck of a lot better than a lot of the other ones, especially the ones that are normally used in like the Susquehanna River. Those are a little bit too big. And the body itself's not going to have a ton of movement, but the appendages are going to move really, really well. And if you've ever seen a Hellgrammite move, their body's actually pretty rigid, so this should be really, really good. Ryan, yeah, the drop minnow's really, really good. The snack craw is really nice. Another one that I think is low-key really good. And I have a few here, and that is the flat cat. The flat cat is an interesting little bait. This is the proper way to fish it. Okay, it's a little fat, squatty thing. If you think of like Erie darters or the kill shot, this is kind of in that same leechy rib creature bait realm. But last year, my #1 drop shot bait was actually from Angler's Choice. I'm going to pull it up on his website because I don't feel like going down to the basement and digging through my stuff and trying to find this while you guys sit here and watch nothing. So let me pull this up on his website really quick. And some of you guys might be really shocked by what I'm about to show you. What my #1 drop shot bait was last year for me everywhere in the state of Michigan. St. Clair, northern Michigan, some of those small little lakes. Unfortunately, I had some camera issues, so there was a hell of a day up by Gaylord that I had on a little lake. It was about a 60-acre lake, and I absolutely destroyed 3 and 4 pound smallies up there. What's up, Scott? So this is actually, believe it or not, my #1 drop shot bait last year was the intact grub from English Choice. Yes, it is a panfish bait. I 100% understand that. But that is literally the same length and size as that flat cat from Great Lakes Finesse. It's a traditional plastic. I will show you my favorite color here. Where is it at? Is this it? I did do well in Goby. Is not my favorite color, though. Where's it at? Where's it at? Copper Goby, caught a few on that. He might be out of it right now. I'll have to get that name of the color. But the Goby color does really, really well for me. That top one right there is the one I did really well on. That might be Goby, actually. Maybe that is Goby. No? Which one is it? Anyways. Maybe it's Copper Goby. I don't know. But that top one on this picture was my #1 producing color in an intact grub last year. And one thing I've noticed traveling around the state and watching people's orders going to the retail stores is a lot of the smallmouth stores are starting to see smaller and smaller plastics being sold more consistently. Even in those large, southern crappie baits are being bought by bass guys. The Kitech Fat Swing Impacts. The 3.3 is outselling a 3.8 now in the state, at least in my customer base. The 2.8s or 2.5s are becoming more and more prevalent. I find myself running a 3-inch Easy Shiner or the English Choice swim bait a heck of a lot more than I used to. Let me show you guys this swim bait here from English Choice. It's pretty similar to a Kitech Easy Shiner. But one thing is the tail design right through here is actually considerably different between the Kitech and English Choice. So if you got like the fat impact, that wide tail kick, where like the Easy Shiner is that little tighter wobble, the AC finesse swim bait or the 4-inch fall right in the middle of those two. So if you want a little different presentation than everybody else around you, but still in that same right profile and size and shape, give this a try from English Choice. I use a ton of his plastics. Really, really enjoy his stuff. Ryan is asking, do they eat a drop shot this early? 100%, my guy. Smallmouth will eat a drop shot year round, no matter what. Just adjust your presentation a little bit, the type of lure you're using, adjust your height, play with your height. If you're fishing, say summertime, and we're moving really quick and drifting that drop shot, and we have 2-foot waves, your hook to weight should be at least 24, if not 36, because you got to think of the angle that line is being dragged as we're drifting. So the faster you go, the shallower that angle is going to get to the bottom, and the longer your lead from the hook to the weight needs to be. So I've been playing with a couple things to make it easy to adjust on the fly for a drop shot. I just haven't quite dialed it 100% the way I like it. I've gotten it to work really well on panfish. Now I'm just trying to get it to work on bass a little bit better. Good stuff, Ryan. Hopefully it's treated you good. I use a lot of David's stuff. One thing I have done is I really streamlined my selection in the boat to just a handful of brands and actually limited amount of colors. Now, granted, this is fairly new to a lot of people, so I'm trying a little bit of everything from Great Lakes Finesse. Trying it. There's a Swimbait from Z-Man. I can pull that up for you guys. That I am fully intending on running a bunch of this year. Let's see. Z-Man fishing. All right. Get rid of these pop-ups here. Let me show you. If you guys have been living under a rock and are not aware of a couple new TRD baits, the Gobalicious is actually a dark sleeper type swim bait. Keep in mind, dark sleeper is not the original idea for this style of swim bait. Actually, Joe Baylog was the first one to bring a really nice swim bait called the Goby Replica. It is no longer made. It used to be like $16 a pop. I sold a ton of those in the early days of SDI. These guys are going to do really, really well. I know Lakeside already has these in. It's already had to restock several of these. And then there's also a TRD Goby. I know John at Sportsman's Direct has this one in for sure. I know Julie has this one in for sure as well. But this little guy is going to do really, really well. This should drop shot really good for you guys as well. So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to use the TRD stuff as a drop shot bait. It works really, really well. Good evening, Robert. Yeah, Z-Man has got a lot of cool new products for us here in the Great Lakes. One thing I do want to point out is not just that there's a new chatterbait. Let me get to it. The Evo series. There is a time and a place for chatterbaits on St. Clair. There was a tournament done not too long ago. Did really well. The Chatter Spike is a good trailer for a chatterbait. I still prefer a fluke style body, but if I need to really bulk one up, the Spike, the Chatter Spike, or the Crush City one that's very similar to this is another good one. I forget who the originator is of it. Let me know in the comments if you know who it is. Baby Ball. They don't have the chatterbait on here. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Evo. Went right by it. So the Evo is the poor man's jackhammer. Best way to describe it to you guys. You have a wire hook keeper and a soft plastic keeper here, which will hold the elastic or any plastic really, really well. I believe these are hand-tied. Yeah, they're hand-tied skirts. Nice 3D eyes. The weight is printed right on there. And you got a variety of skirt and head colors. That's probably one of my favorites. I probably fish this guy quite a bit, which is Hot Snakes. Bama Brim, Checking Lava Crawl would be one I would like. If you're a largemouth guy, I'd definitely get, Lava Crawl would be a good one. It will catch a smallmouth too. Electric Shadow would be a good clear water color. This is Spot Remover, which is a good clear water color as well. But really, really basic colors, but a really nice premium chatterbait without that jackhammer price. So try that out. I know Julie at Lakeside has those for sure. I'm not sure about John on that one. I can't remember if he did it or not off the top of it. If he did, check him out, I guess. Spunk Shed, yeah. Ryan, that was the original one that I couldn't remember the name of, but yeah, Spunk Shed, you're right. But I like a fluke style trailer on my chatterbaits. I know a lot of guys down south will run like crawls and stuff like that. If you are burning a chatterbait, having a trailer that has a lot of resistance is absolutely okay. You do have to upsize your chatterbait if you're using a big bulky trailer that has a lot of action to it. You know, the craws that catch a lot of water or a swim bait. If you want to slow roll a chatterbait or pick it or it just ticks along the bottom, you want to really be able to control it and refine that retrieval, a straight tail trailer, a super fluke, the spike style trailers are the best option. You have a lot larger range of speed where that chatterbait does the hunting and searching like a square bill does. And a lot of people miss that on chatterbait fishing. They honestly do. So take that tip. It's what I use and works for me. What else is new? I do got a couple baits here that I'm a little excited about. Let's push this back to the screen. Couple new things from Berkeley. The finisher. This is a size 7. The best way I can describe this is essentially a spy bait met a jigging rack. I have not gotten a chance to fish it yet. Hopefully I will get a chance to play with it a little bit here and try to master it. But it is a sinking bait. And quite honestly, if you were fishing in the early 2000s, this has a lot of similarity to an old Blue Fox lure that was a line-through design that was all plastic. Long time ago, discontinued right after Rapala bought Blue Fox. It disappeared. So kind of excited to fish it. This size 7 is pretty hefty. It's a half of an ounce, so it's going to fish fairly good. I've been trying to get sink rate information through my channels, and no one can really answer sink rate speed on this, and I think it'd be pretty important. I'm guessing this is going to fall pretty close to about 2 feet a second, just by how heavy it is. Where like 80G fix, which is a little bit longer than this, falls about 1 foot a second. It's about like 3/8 of an ounce, so a little different in weight. So this should fall fairly quick. These are some of my samples I get to show customers. And then another one that I think is going to play early is the Credge. Now, Credge is literally jerk spelled backwards. Pop this box open for you guys. And it is a sinking jerkbait with a reverse bill. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I got to play with it a little bit. I haven't told anybody locally yet to try and stock it yet. But if you're interested in buying them, let these guys know, and they can get it stocked up. This is actually pretty hefty feeling. It's a 1/2 ounce, so it's going to fall and shimmy. And then when you pull on the bill, it kicks, and then it actually slides backwards and down. So I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Early spring smallmouth was a good time to try new baits. If you're just trying to learn to get confidence in them, great time because everything wants to eat. What else do I got new handy I can show you guys? I do have some jig heads. Some of you may know about these. These are Smeltinators. These are by Northwind, and they essentially are the exact same jig with some refinements from what Gussie used to win the Classic last year. So I got a handful of these. Just another swim bait head. Dirty Jigs has got a really nice one that's really similar to this that I primarily use. I'm using for a pure swim bait situation. If I'm dragging a swim bait, I'm actually using a tungsten round ball for that. And it's getting harder and harder to find the ones I want. So I'm a little disappointed in that. Maybe I'll just get tired of it and go get my own overseas and sell it to you guys. I don't know. And then sell it to some of the local shops. I don't know what. I might do it. I have no idea. I know how to do it. Maybe I'll do it. Who knows? But that's a Smeltinator. I do like the dirty jigs. Jig head. Let me show you that. I'll pull up dirty jigs here. Not a lot of guys know it. I know out in Waterford, Michigan, the bait shop carries an absolute ton of dirty jig swim bait heads, and I pick them up quite often there. It's called the Guppy head, and they have a 1/0 and a 3/0 version of it. Let me put this picture up for you guys. So that is the 1/0, 3/0. That's all what they are. Nothing special on colors, guys. There's a handful of colors. The price isn't terrible for how many you get. You get like 3 or 4 per package, but they come in 2 different hook weights. There's a finesse hook, which is the one I look for, and then there's the heavyweight, which more of the southern guys will run. I'll run Kitex, Easy Shiners, English Choice swim baits on that. That's my favorite swim bait head, is that style, which is that Smeltinator style as well. If you look really closely, you know, the picture up here in the corner, and then, yeah, they're literally the same thing. These have more metallic-y finish to it, where the Guppy head is a little more flat paint job style. Trapping. Never have luck with that keeper style on those jig heads. Try a touch of super glue on the head of the swim bait. Once you get it where you like it, back it off a little bit, put a drop or 2 of super glue, push it back up for a second, and you should be good to go. Those collars on some of these are usually where the secret sauce is. The Guppies are a little, those ribs are a little shallow. I wish they were a little deeper, a little more pronounced. I've been known to hit them with a file when I have tons of free time. I may or may not do that with the next round of boxes I got to storage up. But yeah, I think in the next 7 to 10 days, that smallmouth bite on the mile road should really get going good. I have seen some good catches. That last really good warm-up, there's some good catches. If you watched the live I did last when I was up in Muscatmoot, that's going to be an iffy area to fish this year. If you're coming from the south entrance where the grass island is in the middle of the bay, come off plane there and go in on trolling mode the rest of the way. There are some very shallow areas in there. Heard anything about the Beast Coast Slow Fall Swimmer? Let me look that one up. I hear about so much stuff, guys, that sometimes I just forget about it. Even though I've seen it or I've talked about it, it's got to get my face on it. Let's see what the slow flow... Is that a tungsten or a lead head? Man, I got a lot of stuff. I didn't realize I had this much stuff. Let's try a lead head in that. I'm looking here. Let's just do Beast Coast Slow Flow. There we go. It's our swim bait. Yep, just found it. I have not tried that guy. It looks good. If it's not too bulky, it'd probably be a good one out here. My concern is that it might be a little bulky for the bulk of what we do, but the sizings is probably not terrible. So that might be a good bait to try for guys. I personally haven't fished a lot of Beast Coast, but I do know like Benjamin Novak has fished quite a bit of their stuff in the past and does like it. So there's something there, I guess. Omnia's got it. Yeah, nice looking stuff. Lady Bass did a video on it last fall. Cool. Made for dragging smallies. I could see that one being a dragging bait, definitely. Called the sled head, like a hybrid. Let's go back. One second. You're reminding me of something else. What are my thoughts on core tackle? Hover jig. I got a few. Picked these up at one of my shops that I take care of. They have it, and they're a little pricey. I'm going to probably pair these up with the Angler's Choice Walleye Minnow. It is probably the best stuff I have, besides a basic fluke. Or you could team it up with a 3.3 Swimbait, an easy shiner. I do the easy shiner over the fat swing just because a flat swing is not very durable. Easy shiner is a little more durable. But I do plan on using it, and I will tell you this. This technique and this and a spy bait or an underspin with a swim bait slow rolled, all those, when those fish are out a little bit deeper, once we get in that early summer bite and they start to chase suspended bait fish a little more, that's when I see this kind of tackle starting to be the deal. And if you know you got a good pot of fish, what I will sometimes do is I'll throw a spy bait through them first, get those really big finicky fish out of the way, and then sometimes I'll come back through with an underspin, same depth, just a different look to those same fish. I'll try an underspin, and then I'll go to like a DT10, even though I'm in 20 feet of water, and I'll burn that through them in the past. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to throw baits like the Credge in the finisher and the hover jig over those same fish as well, just to give them a different look. Just trying to trigger a few more of those fish. I really do think the smallmouth here on Lake St. Clair are becoming conditioned to hearing that ping, and not in a good way. When they start to hear that live ping, which is very loud, it's louder than your down imaging, louder than your 360. Some of those fish are starting to kind of push away from that sound a little bit, not vacating the area, just kind of drifting away. So I've tried the hover rig, and I have much better luck on just the ball head minnow. I have too, my friend. I'm going to try it because doing what I do for a living, for my day job, I have to kind of keep trying the new stuff, so I understand it, so I can sell it to my customers that may need it in their area. So I'm looking forward to trying it and playing with it. Hopefully she works out. Yeah, Ryan, is having live on the front of your boat going to help you catch more fish? Yep. Are some fish getting conditioned to it? Yep. Bass will always get conditioned, smallmouth or largemouth. Largemouth have I think, based off the studies I've read, tend to have a bigger, hi young lady, tend to have a little more tendency to become conditioned and turned off from a bait. There was a pond study done in Florida where they cast it at them with a rattle trap and a Senko, and they basically tagged every fish and monitored how many times they caught these fish in the pond. And they could usually only catch those fish on aggressive baits once or twice, moving baits once or twice, and then that fish was done. and they had to resort to a very finessey, slow thinking, wacky rig Senko to catch them, and they could catch them more often on that after that. I think that happens with smallmouth as well. They're not going to get as conditioned as fast to a lure type, but I think it does happen. I don't know if it's like a genetic thing that gets ingrained to the next generation, because point in case, like spinnerbaits used to be a bread and butter thing out here on St. Clair, and I think being that the clarity on average is a lot cleaner than what it was 15 years ago, that could be part of the reason why spinnerbait is not so good. But I also have seen where spinnerbaits shine best in the fall and chatterbaits in the spring, even for largemouth on inland lakes. That fall, September, October, November, spinnerbaits work really, really well. April, May, June, the chatterbait is by far the most dominant, and you're fishing spinnerbait water with a chatterbait, and the chatterbait is out producing the spinnerbait tenfolds. So there's got to be something to that with reactionary strike deals in the fall. They're in that I need to eat, and get as much weight on as I can before winter. I've watched so many fish get in the beam and literally run from me, and no one can convince me they can't feel the beam. Dude, all I got to say is put your head underwater 10, 20 feet out in front of that beam and tell me what you hear. And we're not designed to live in the water, and you can feel it and you can hear it go through your head. There's a reason why when Navy SEALs are below subs, they do not turn on their active ping, because it can really screw up their eardrums and actually make these divers pass out. So I think there was an incident with the Chinese military not too long ago where we had maintenance workers in the water working on a vessel, and the Chinese military came close and started active pinging and really basically trying to hurt and kill our divers that are in the water. So I think there is something to it. I think we're getting to the point where our transducers are getting too loud, and we're going to start seeing some adverse effects from it. I know with like flashers through ice fishing, we did have a situation. I did notice some stuff. Vexilars give out about 600 to 800 watts of power, and they take in about the same amount. But products like Markham put out 1,500 watts, and they don't take in 1,500 watts. There's a lot of like leftover noise. And I actually seen where you started fishing a hole with a Vexilar, and the fish were okay with it. You put a Markham in with a gain set fairly low, and those fish, their whole mood changed. Did they leave the hole? No, but did their attitude and their willingness to bite change? Dramatically, it did. So I think there is something to that sound wave that we're putting out there. Now, caveat, and one of my old-time buddies goes, these fish are hearing boats go over top of them all day long, all summer long, every hour of the night and day. So they do get conditioned to certain noises, and they don't bother them. I think prop noise is one that they know is not a threat. But a fish is hearing a ping, they see a bait, they catch it, they have a negative response to that sound based off of I had this experience of being caught, I didn't like that. So I think there is something to be had there. You may or may not agree with that. That's fine if you don't. It's been my observation. I've talked to a lot of other anglers that have observed the same thing. What other new baits are out there, guys, that you are excited about? There is one. This is a topwater bait that I'm excited about because they finally got a correct size for us northerners. Let me get to it. Hold on. It's not a new bait, but they have a new size. Hard baits. Here it is. So that is the Hellraiser. The Hellraiser now comes in a smaller size. The 5-inch is a little big. But I think this is the 4-inch is the right size. If you've not checked this bait out, you really should. Think of it as a crazy crawler, if you're old school, from Heddon. The way it moves, or like a chatterbait on the surface. It's a very heavy bait. It sinks fast, so you have to get onto it like a buzzbait. This could be an absolute dynamite inland lake largemouth bait for guys. And that late April, May topwater bite on St. Clair, I could see this playing a big role out here for guys. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. Oop, wrong thing. Here we go. Quarter speed. But I want to show you guys this action on this, and it's just this really cool side-to-side action. Take a look at it. I'll speed up a little bit more. But that thing is literally just cutting back and forth on the surface. Makes a lot of noise without a ton of disturbance. It's got like a blade on the front of it that moves back and forth. It's a really cool bait. I think that is a sleeper topwater bait here in Michigan. Believe it or not, you fish it this way, and this is the tail. You tie it on there, and you start cranking, and that rides on like a 45. I have one somewhere in the house. I gotta find it. I think I got it in my samples. But I think that's a cool topwater bait. Newish. The 4-inch size is brand spanking new. I think everybody should give this guy a try. Just pick up one. I'd pick it up in bone. This color here, that's the one I'd pick it up in and try it. If you're gonna do a chartreuse color, let's see, that's see-through colors. Maybe Ghost Gill, or Purple Death. I really like that one because of the brightness of it. Your golds and your blacks, you know, your normal topwater stuff, scaly shad, should be good. But I think the Hellraiser is a sleeper topwater bait for guys here in Michigan that guys need to check it out. What else is new? I'm trying to think, is there anything else new on the bass side? On the walleye side, I do have a new rod that I want to show you guys. John at SDI did bring in some of these. And this is the jigging rod I'm going to be running. This is actually a Michigan company. I'll do a full video on this probably coming up. This is by Nova Tackle. If you do salmon steelhead, you know who Nova is. They have a really good name for salmon and steelhead rods. This rod is the 6-foot 2-inch. I like that 6'3" length for jigging rods for walleye. 8 to 17 pound test, medium heavy, extra fast, 3/8 to 1 ounce, which for me is the perfect weight for me. I really like this rod. It's not insanely expensive. It's in that $100 to $130 range. It's a Michigan brand, soft touch reel seat. I like the cork detail up here. They do have a split grip model. Not so much a fan of the reel seat on that one, so that's why I went on this. Other than that, the split grip and the EVA cork handle are exactly the same blank, same guide makeup, just different handle and reel seat. So I'm actually going to be setting that up, and believe it or not, you're going to laugh. This is my reel of choice for my jigging rods. I do not spend a lot of money on my vertical jigging walleye setups. This is nothing more than a Shimano FX 1000. There can be some issues when you're running these lower end Shimanos or any reel at that matter with the line biting into itself, but pretty minimal. I'm going to run 10-pound Power Pro on it. Yeah, he had a hell of a booth at the Novi show trapping. He sold a lot of rods. There's quite a few of them out there. If you're over here on this side of the lake, Sportsman's Direct, I know, has them. There's a bait casting model. It's on the heavy. It's a heavy action rod, so that should be a good one to be trying out. Oh boy, what did I knock down? More fun stuff. I am planning a couple-day trip before trout opener to the Asabo River. We're going to do some truck camping and some wade fishing for trout. Something I haven't really done a ton of. Asabo River Outfitters, Jordan and Brian there. Been talking with them. They're going to help point me in the right direction for a few spots. But this is honestly one of the coolest books I have ever seen for a river. I know they sell it there in Asabo River Outfitters. If you ever go up that way, make sure you go in and check those guys out. Good store. honestly one of the prettiest stores in the state, hands down. But this book basically has all your access points, your river miles, any trails, campsites. Basically gives you the roadmap to travel the river, so it's really, really cool. Interesting question, Ryan. My thoughts on the current goby population on Lake St. Clair. It is in check. That's the best way to put it. I think the goby population at this point will rise and fall with the zebra and quagga mussel populations in Lake St. Clair. Now, Lake St. Clair really doesn't have quagga mussels. It's primarily zebra mussels. And zebra mussel numbers are drastically lower than what they were at their peak. I think between sheephead sturgeon and goby eating them, they've done a good job of keeping the zebra mussels in check. But we have enough of them. If we get a dirty spell, they fire up and do a good job of cleaning the water, especially that Clinton River water that everybody thinks is polluted beyond belief. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be, but can it be better? Yes, it can be better. Much, much better. Screw you, Oakland County. Quit giving us your shit, literally. But I think the goby population on St. Clair is definitely depressed from what it usually is. Lake Erie is probably down from its historic high, but they're still up there. The St. Clair River still has a good amount of gobies in it, though, especially the further up towards Lake Huron you go, the more I tend to see when I'm fishing. Lake Huron's got a healthy population of goby. Lake Michigan's got a healthy population. Superior has a healthy population of gobies. In fact, I've seen some of the biggest gobies I've ever seen in my life come out of Superior. And if you have never liked, and this, I'm hearing this from a lot of charter captains on the west side and on Lake Huron side and up in Superior, if you're in the area where these lake trout are living and primarily feeding on gobies their entire life, that fish is not greasy like the old days. That meat is a totally different color, totally different texture, and it's really, really dang good. I fully intend on doing some lake trout fishing May and June. So I'm going to probably go up to Traverse Bay for some of that. Because why not? It's easy. I can get to it in a bass boat fairly easy. I've been crunching some numbers on a trip out to Yankee Reef. And I have some concerns. Potentially me losing my boat insurance if I go out too far from shore is something I just read through my boat insurance because renewing. And I may not be, my boat may not be insured to do that trip out to Yankee Reef. So we might just have to find a different way to go out there and fish. I think my boat insurance is up to 25 miles offshore, and Yankee Reef is 32 or 38 at the closest shoreline to get to it. So I probably can't do that trip in my boat. Insurance, but also fuel load. The 2022 version of the 198 sucks on fuel. It's not as good of a haul. For the Optimax I got on, I go through a lot more. I go through a lot more fuel and oil than I used to on the old haul. It's not bad. It's just oil is way too expensive now for these two strokes. They're purposely trying to make you not want to run them. I think with oil prices, even though there's tons of them out there still. And I'd have to probably carry an extra 10 gallons of fuel to make the run from Oscoda to Yankee Reef, which is the closest port that I've measured to the area of Yankee Reef I want to go. Not sure if Ragnall did that trip or not. If he did he use a guide or did he go out there on his own in his own boat? I know he's a hell of a fisherman, outdoorsman. I would love to run into him one time to shoot shit. He seems like a cool dude. Really, really does. There is one thing I want to do, and you guys may find this entertaining or maybe not, and that is to do a video of where I only fish old school stuff, like a pre-rigged worm, the predecessor to the Senko. This is the little panfish one. Go out and chase some big bluegill out here in St. Clair. There is a ton of them out here. And just, I want to have fun and chase the big dogs, not worry about it. Oh, Standard Rock? Yeah, Standard Rock is a poke and a half. I want to say it's 40-something miles. No matter which port you go from, either the one on the Keweenaw, which is a small little harbor port, or if you go out of, I think it's Marquette, which is where most people go out of, actually. That's a straight north shot from there, then. I've noticed that baitfish perch presentations have seemed to do better for me over goby the last year or so. Yeah, the primary food source for smallmouth on Lake St. Clair, in this order, in my humble opinion, is going to be perch, shiners, gobies, LY. There is not that many LY out here up until fairly recently. There's been a little bit of a boom in LY and shad with the mild winters we've had. So we'll probably see shad play a little more. So your whites, your sexy shads are going to be a little bit better. Your royal shads will do better out here. Yeah, $165 for 2 gallons of oil. All I will say, Ryan, is try to find a place that sells it in bulk. It will save you quite a bit of money. I think I paid $45 a gallon for my Optimax oil. I think I'm going to stop buying the Optimax and go back to the Premium Plus. I honestly had less oil consumption with Premium Plus than what I did with the Opti oil. And it saves me like $1 or $2 to do the Premium Plus from Quicksilver. So I don't know if maybe my motor likes it better. I know when I first got the motor, that's all I ran was Premium Plus through it. And I'm probably going to do that again going forward. But I am definitely not happy with the amount of oil that boat has gone through since I have the 2022 haul. It's a slower haul. Seems like the motor has to work a little harder, which means I burn a little more oil. So, yeah. $165 for 2 gallons of oil is absolutely retarded. Excuse my language there, but that is just straight up stupid. So, not a fan of it at all. So, I think that's about all I got for you guys tonight. Just figured I'd check in. I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video or did a live. Yes, I'm still alive and well. Just been doing a lot of work. Trap, you know I might. There's a Zebco 75th anniversary reel coming out. I might just do that. I literally will probably do a full-size bass stopper, purple and white, and see. I might just see how many fish I can catch on it this spring. It'd be fun. I'll have to get a 12-pack of those probably because that mono sucks on those pre-rigged worms. On most of them. The Icons are a little bit better, and the Kellys are a little bit better quality than the bass stoppers. But Bass Stopper's a Michigan guy, so I want to try to use his stuff. Jack Horney, the sales rep, or Horn, is it Horny or Hornaday or Horn or whatever? He's the rep here in the state, and me and him talk at least once or twice a month about orders for stores and stuff. So he's done a good job with that for me. I'm also been playing with a new perch rig design. A lot of you guys may not know this, but that Dropshot style perch rig, I actually originated the design on Erie. I took an old timer design that Detroit River guys used to use. Most of these guys have passed away, unfortunately, that I learned this from. And that sliding hook design, that was actually my idea, and how we designed the rig and tweaked it. The hook angle, it's kind of all the secret sauce is in that. There's a very important reason all that, but I got a few tweaks to that rig that I want to bring to market, and hopefully soon, if I can find somebody to produce these, I might just bring them to market myself instead of giving it to somebody else. And if I can get them produced, I can get them stocked in a few stores locally. What's in this brown bag is part of that new rig. I've been talking with a major company to try to do the rig, but it sounds like they don't want to play ball. I asked for 10 cents a rig, and the idea is there. And some of the tweaks I want to do will apply to the guys down south, and obviously take care of everybody up here, but haven't got a chance to solidify that deal. I think 10 cents a rig is pretty honest compensation for my idea. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that's been plugging away at this business since he's 13 years old, soon to be 40 this year. So, yes, I do like their hooks. When I'm not in a heavy weed situation, I really like their hooks. Where the hooks end up in that very hard part of the mouth is really, really nice. And I haven't really had a fish come unbuttoned from the hook coming out. I have had some line breakage issues. And honestly, I think that's on the line's fault, not a me thing or the hook design thing. I think I am done using Sunline as my leader line on my drop shots. I've had way too many bad spools, and it keeps getting worse and worse. And I hate to say it, the FC Sniper quality has gone downhill the last 5 years. And it's unfortunate because I really, really like that line. I have switched over to Seaguar and Vizex for my main leader material. So Julie at Lakeside should have that in. I know John at SDI carries it. I think Joel carries Red Label for sure. I'm not sure if he carries in Vizex. Red Label's a good, affordable fluorocarbon. And also Seaguar Basic 101 Floral is actually really, really good. Very inexpensive. Gold Label, it's not terribly priced. I want something a little more supple than those leader lines. Though I may try it. I can get my hands on it pretty easy. I've been using it in Vizex since last summer and haven't had as many issues with it as I have with like FC, which is unfortunate. I really like Sunline Supernatural. Their mono is my favorite mono on the market. It's one of the thinnest out there. It's one of the most supple out there. All my panfish setups get it. I absolutely love Supernatural from Sunline for a mono. I think it's the best out there right now. Gold Label, I'm going to try it, Ryan. I've done Tatsu. I can't afford it, even buying it on a rep discount. I just can't afford Tatsu. It is so good, but it is way too rich for my blood. And I'm not fishing for money, so I can't justify that expense. So I usually boat flip 3-pounders too, even on 8-pound, Ryan. So, yeah. I definitely have a lot less confidence boat flipping fish on the FC. Seaguar, I'm gaining my confidence on it, so I'll probably play some Gold Label. I probably will play some Gold Label this year. If you saw my basement line selection, I have way too much line. So I'm going to have to give it away or use it. But yeah, there is a new net from Ranger. I just remembered this. Let me see if they have it on their website yet. I actually designed this net. Really cool product. It is 100% floating net and it doesn't float, doesn't do the same, it doesn't float like everybody else's floating nets do. I gave David this design last fall. I told him how to make it better for my prototype, which is currently on my boat. If you see the net with the red handle, that is my design. It 100% floats. The coating that's on there or the wrap that's on there does not scratch a boat. Doesn't really affect anything. I think I think that is by far the absolute best landing net on the market, hands down. Personal opinion. This other landing net, this floating one. Let me see if I can find it, guys. It's gonna come in. I'm gonna pull up their website for you guys. So it's gonna come in a octagon handle without the yoke. And it's blue. Lakeside has these in stock already. Let's see if it's in this series. Nope. May not be on the website yet, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, it's that style octagon handle, but in blue. And it's in a new, it comes in a flat bottom net with a 1-inch mesh. and then a clear rubber like this, the lightweight clear rubber. So it's going to be the lighter weight version of this. Julie at Lakeside has it on the wall for sure. I don't know if John has them yet. I know Anderson Pro Bait has had a couple. He may or may not have any left. I actually prototyped and designed that net, and I was on the phone with David one day at Ranger Nets. I said, dude, do you need a new product idea? I have one for you. And I gave him the handle material and how to make a net float without making it big and bulky and annoying and having foam on the outside. And he tried it. It worked. Everything I told him to use was 100% what he went with, and it worked. That's a little pricey, but you got to pay for the custom flotation to make it work. That's all I'm going to say. I wish I had the model numbers. I could probably look it up. Let me see if I got the model number. Hold on. I got the Ranger sales rep sent me. Let's see. Where is it at? Where's it at? There he is. Let's see. What was the model number on this? So you guys can ask for it. I'll send the video to my desktop here really quick, so I can show this float. And this is with the heavier rubber net on it. Where is it at? There it is. Let's see. Stop screen. Present. Video file. Downloads. Bear with me. I'll play this, guys. Let me find this. What is this file name? Is this it? Yeah.
Ranger's all new 920 FTR floating telescope.
That is the net.
Lose it overboard.
That I designed for Ranger.
Get it back.
Back this up so you can hear the audio.
Ranger's all new 920 FTR floating telescopic rubber net. Lose it overboard and you'll get it back.
So that is the telescopic model of the net. They're all 920s. See you trapping. I'll see you out there. Make sure you say hi to me and just say, hey, I'm trapping 68. But that is the net I designed for Ranger. Well, I designed for myself, and I thought it was too good of an idea to keep. So I shared it with Dave over at Ranger, and he ran with it, was able to execute all the changes I would make to make it a finished commercial product, and they are available. So check that net out. It's a little longer handle than I have on my version. If you do the straight 920, actually, no, 920 is the handle length I used. And I have the flat bottom material. This is the rubber. The new rubber nets are pretty good. The flat bottom's pretty good. So if you guys want to try the net, that's a good net to try. I, as a bass guy, I just got tired of having a net that scratches the crap out of the side of my boat. And that was the point of what I did it. So if you're in the market for a new net, you want to try it out, that's the net I designed and gave the design to Ranger, and it's been selling really well. Again, didn't ask for anything. I just wanted to have a good product out there for you guys. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Just going to recap really quick. I will be at Lakeside next Saturday and Sunday, not this coming Saturday and Sunday, for our open house. Coming out, get some free food. Let's talk fishing. We'll get you guys squared away some of these new bass lures. Get you squared away on that jig head box that I did a video on not too long ago. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you just got in here, when I go off, just go back to the beginning. I give a whole kind of like a forecast report of what to expect coming on for walleye, lake trout, or walleye, salmon, and smallmouth here in the area. It's getting close, guys. We should be getting going pretty good. Crocker should be fixed finally. They've been dredging it, so hopefully it should be good to go when this weather breaks and they open it back up. I haven't checked Facebook to see if it's back officially open yet. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, tight lines, happy casting. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.